On January 9th, 2020, we got a slew of updates from FFG, including new points and what we're going to focus on today, the hyperspace update. Our focus today is on the ships and pilots that are now hyperspace legal. So we're going to go ahead and start here with the Rebel Alliance. The current legal hyperspace ships are the B-Wing, the Y-Wing, the A-Wing, and the T-65 X-Wing, kind of, and the Millennium Falcon, kind of, the YT-1300. So this is actually a great spot to kind of show you guys how I have these graphics set up. So basically, every X-Wing, every T-65 pilot is hyperspace legal except for the ones that you see here. So you have some of the big names here. You'll notice that Wedge Antilles, no longer hyperspace legal, as well as, not as popular, but big name, Biggs Darklighter, and there's a few other ones listed there. Then in the YT-1300, every pilot, including the upcoming Leia Organa pilot that we're getting in the Hotshot and Aces pack, are going to be legal except for the Outer Rim Smuggler, that is the PS1. You can see here on the bottom all the ships that are not hyperspace legal in Rebels. One pattern that you'll notice is that FFG's goal here is to keep around 5 ships, the legal limit for each faction, in order to keep it balanced in the hyperspace format. I think one of the biggest surprises for me is that the U-Wing is no longer hyperspace legal, but you got a lot of good options there in the B-Wings especially, and there's that new B-Wing coming, Gina Moonsong. We're going to see a lot of B-Wings in that hyperspace format, I think. Next up, we have the Empire. Legal are all the TIE Advance, including Darth Vader, and all the Strikers. Notable pilot there, of course, being Duchess. Now, the Reaper, TIE Fighter, and Decimator also have legal pilots in them, but there are some that are exceptions. I think some might matter more than others. Let's hit the Reaper first. So the only one that's not legal for the Reaper is the Scarif-based pilot. That's the Initiative 1. I don't think it's a huge deal. Their best pilot, honestly, is Vermeil, and that one's hyperspace legal. The biggest surprise from here are in the TIE Fighters. You see that there's a few TIE Fighters there that, I mean, they're okay. Wampa's a good TIE Fighter, Night Beast and Valen Rudor, whatever. But Howlrunner, that is huge. Howlrunner not being hyperspace legal is painful for anybody who was maybe thinking about flying a TIE Swarm in the hyperspace format, which I think is really funny because the current System Open series theme is the Infernal Squadron, but really you don't bring a TIE Swarm without Howlrunner, because Howlrunner is what adds the offensive consistency. So I think we're going to see a pretty big decline. Already the TIE Swarm wasn't super popular, but maybe going into it people thought, hey, TIE Swarm could be viable. I don't know. Without Howlrunner, it's going to be tough. Then in the Decimator, all the Decimators are legal, including the upcoming new one, except for the Patrol Leader, the Initiative, except for the lowest Initiative Decimator. One pattern I have noticed here is some of the lower Initiative ships that they've dropped the points on, they've not made hyperspace legal. So that is our update there for the Empire, and of course all the ships that are in the Empire that are currently not hyperspace legal and might cycle in later. For Scum, the Firespray, Jumpmaster 5000, and the M3A Interceptor are all pilots in those ships are hyperspace legal. For the Fang Fighter, only Old Terrak has been removed. As for the Mining Guild ties, the most popular one, Captain Seevor, is no longer hyperspace legal, as well as Foreman Proach is no longer hyperspace legal. Moving on to Separatists here, they don't have that many ships, so Hyena Bomber is legal. All of the Nantex are legal, all the Vultures, which there I'm not surprised. Then for the Sith Infiltrator, the more popular pilots are there. And then here again, another low initiative ship that the points dropped on, being made not legal in hyperspace. And that is the Initiative 2 one. And then here, which might be surprising to some people because of the few number of ships that this new faction has, all of the Bellabubs are not legal in hyperspace. None of them at all. So Seer Swarm is gone. No type of Bellabub support with a swarm there. You're going to have to figure out something new. Moving on to the Republic, all of the Naboo starfighters are legal, and we have some limitations in the ARC 170, the Y-Wing, and the Delta 7. The V-19 is not hyperspace legal. Exceptions for the Delta 7 here, we got 3 Jedi that are not hyperspace legal: Mace, Gon, Sassy Tin, and Anakin Skywalker. I'll be honest, I'm surprised that Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't made non-hyperspace legal, and I'll explain that in a little bit here. For the Y-Wing, Goji has been removed from the hyperspace format, and then Sinker in the ARC 170 and the 104th Battalion Pilot are both removed from hyperspace as well. Those 2 most popular arcs that you see out there. For the First Order, once we get Von Reg's Interceptor and all the other pilots in that pack, those will be legal. All of the TIE FOs are legal, as well as all of the TIE silencers. The only ship in total that has been removed from hyperspace are the Upsilon shuttles, aka bye-bye Tavson, and then a little bit of limitations here for the TIE SF. Quick Draw removed from hyperspace eligibility. Again, that is the most popular pilot for that ship being plucked out there, and FFG saying, can you find something else? Last but not least, moving on to the Resistance, the Fireball and all of its pilots will be hyperspace legal. And then there's exceptions with all of the other 4 ships. In the A-Wing, Lulo has been removed. In the T-70 X-Wing, Elo Asti, which honestly is a little bit confusing to me. I'll come back to that in a little bit. Moving on to the Transport, the Initiative 1 Logistics Division pilot has been removed from hyperspace, as well as Finn in the pod. The Star Fortress and the YT-1300 for the Resistance are not hyperspace legal. Now, overall, it seems like the pattern that FFG took here was bring it down to about 5 ships per faction. And on top of that, for some of the ships that they put out there that they've made hyperspace legal, for instance, with Rebels, taking Wedge out, taking Quick Draw out of the TIE SF, they're taking some of the most popular choices for those pilots and asking players basically, can you find another way to play this ship? Overall, I actually really like the changes. They are pretty drastic, and hyperspace is definitely going to feel different than extended, which I think overall is the point. Originally, the idea was that it was always the new stuff that would be hyperspace legal, which might be the case. I'm curious to see once we get the next wave after Von Regs and the Fireball, how they're going to manage hyperspace. But having a smaller set of ships, I think is going to create some more interesting differences between hyperspace and extended. Because right now, or I guess not right now, not anymore, but in the past, for instance, at the Philadelphia System Open, the hyperspace lists that you saw there were just some of the best extended lists that were out there. So I think now we're going to have some differences, and I'm really excited to see what people do. And of course, there were changes also in the upgrades for each faction and the generic upgrades, which we'll cover in a later video. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you want to see a document with all the changes for hyperspace, we have a link to one down below, as well as the link to the page where all the FFG PDFs for the updated points are posted. Thanks for watching, guys. Gold Squadron out.